I think of him. If he was here, he would be proud. He would tell his friends. He was quite vain about me. But I know he's always here. Not physically, but in spirit.
Playing for Manchester United or Portugal, Ronaldo just wants to win, to be the best, ever better. The people who work with him are amazed at his daily desire to go further.
He doesn't stop. The more you demand of him. Sometimes when we do not demand so much, to avoid injuries for instance, he wants to work even harder. If you give a hard task, he wants more. That's what I like about Ronaldo. That and the way he treats people. Take a picture of me. Look at me. Come on, give me a big smile. Thank you. Thank you. He is kind and nice, polite, active in everything he does.
I've had some great players here over the years. In my time, I've been here 20 years, and Brian Robson, Roy Keane. But in terms of sheer ability and imagination, Cristiano is without doubt, he's looking the best now. Every day practices, every day practices. So it's not an accident that how you see the improvement today as from when he arrived 3 years ago. It's not an accident, it's by his own design, his own desire and his own determination to be the best.
In 2006, he played his first World Cup as a star of the national team.
He is currently the Portuguese national team's most charismatic player, notwithstanding the merit of the team's other players. It all happens naturally, though. It just happens.
Before the game, in the dressing room, this is how Ronaldo discusses strategies and relieves tension. The ball is always close at hand. In the game with England, Rooney stepped on Ricardo Carvalho and was shown a red card. But the British press ganged up on Ronaldo, holding him responsible for England's defeat against Portugal. He received many threats and was booed every time he was in possession of the ball.
Se as coisas passassem neste momento, eu fazia a mesma coisa. Estou a defender o meu país. If it happened now, I do the same thing all over again. E acho que aquilo que eu fiz foi uma situação. I'm representing my country, my nation. I'm representing my colors. I think what I did was perfectly normal. Lots of people wanted me to be the scapegoat for something, because maybe they expected more from England. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. But I do the exact same thing now because it was a normal thing to do. I remember after the game, Rooney came to see me, and he said, "Keep it up, you guys have an excellent team. Just keep it up, you're doing good." I've always been really good friends with him. I remember he even used to send me messages. I never had any kind of problem with him.
He's been getting booed this season for various reasons, but you know, it's he's come out, he's shown everyone how good a player he is, and I think not only that, the English fans only boo good players, so I think that's a sign of respect, and you know, I think every English fan is happy that he's playing in the English league.
Everyone in this field likes to incite trouble, controversy. I think that's what happened. But my relationship with him is very good.
Ronaldo didn't want to go back to Manchester, but Jorge Mendes and Sen were pivotal in making him change his mind.
Everything that happened so far, from the beginning of the season, tells us a little more about who Cristiano is. A player with lots of character, with lots of personality, who managed to overcome all that adversity.
After the incident, I spoke to Wayne Rooney, and I kept texting Cristiano, but I kept texting his old telephone number, so he never got all my texts. So he thought maybe I wasn't showing interest in Cristiano. And it was only when I spoke to David Gill, our chief executive, to get in touch with his agent to tell him to phone because he hadn't returned my calls. I then realised that we'd been texting the wrong number. So I got his new number and I texted him again, and we arranged to go out to see him in Valdelobo with David Gill and I flew out in a private plane. And there were certain fears for Cristiano in terms of what was the reaction back home in England from the press, from visiting fans, from away fans. And I explained to him, look, that we are used to this, we know how to handle this type of situation, because we had a similar thing with David Beckham in '98 after the World Cup when it was red card. And they were burning effigies of David Beckham outside pubs and bars all over London. And their first game was in London, you know, in West Ham. And what I said to Cristiano is, English people that seem to talk more than they actually do anything, I think they'll boo you. I think that there'll be some strong reaction in terms of noise from the crowd, but they won't do anything physically, they won't harm me physically. And he was a bit worried about that. We also, very importantly, we got him a new house in the country. It's very private, and all his family are there, which is very, very important, to be happy in your house, which he is now. And then the first game away from home was at Charlton, and of course all the crowd booed. But just before half time, he got a ball, he beat a man and hit the bar with a fantastic shot, and everyone shut up. They shut up because they're terrified. They're afraid he's going to kill them. You understand? Yeah. So I said to him after the game, you've got the answer yourself. You can quieten him with your ability. And he'll never be afraid to show his ability, because he's got great courage.
I didn't expect that kind of reception, to be booed in every stadium. It's never a nice thing. But on the other hand, some good can come of it if it makes you stronger, psychologically.
Ronaldo starts his best season ever. Goals and more goals, a leading figure in Manchester United. He won the Premier League and the awards of Player of the Year and Best Young Player of the Year and the Premier League. He suddenly had the world at his feet and won his bet against Ferguson that he would score over 15 goals.
I'm not paying.
Not paying, why?
I said to him, penalty kicks don't count. Penalty kicks, I don't include penalty kicks. I will pay him, I'll pay him at the end of the year.
In the next year you will...
I have another bet with him.
Yeah?
I'll make it 100. To get my money back.
Para mim, ele é o melhor do mundo.
I think he's the best in the world, as a person, as an athlete, as a participant, as a member of the national team, and as that young boy. I've watched grow up over the past 3 years.
Menino que eu acho que vi crescer nesses últimos 3 anos.
At this moment now, I think he's the best player in the world now.
It's a joy to watch and joy to play with him. And I think at the minute he's undoubtedly the best player in the world. He deserves to be crowned world's best player, and you know, I hope